A European air force of 120 fighter jets could be deployed to secure the skies from Russian attacks on Kyiv and western Ukraine, according to a plan drawn up by military experts. The Guardian reports that Sky Shield would be a European-led air protection zone operated separately from NATO to halt Russian cruise missile and drone attacks on cities and infrastructure, potentially operating as part of the truce in the sky proposed by Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky. It would cover Ukraine's 3 operating nuclear power plants and the cities of Odessa and Lviv, but not the front line or the east of the country. And, according to a newly published paper, it could achieve greater military, political, and socio-economic impact than 10,000 European ground troops. EU is ready to create a coalition of the willing to ensure one country cannot block support for Ukraine. EC Vice President Kaja Kallas at the Special European Council Summit in Brussels.
Difficult, and that's why we have on the new initiatives also considered the coalition of the willing, so that one country can't block everybody else.
What are the options today for Hungary to opt out of the Ukraine?
Well, I will not speak for Hungary. I mean, we are still striving for having the unity of 27 members. And if that's not possible, then, I mean, Hungary can speak for themselves.
Romanian authorities detained 6 individuals connected with Russia on treason charges, Romanian media report. The Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism says the criminal group established in 2023 had plans to undermine Romania's sovereignty and stage a coup d'etat. The members of the group, including a 101-year-old retired general, also frequently had contacts with agents of a foreign power located both in Romania and in Russia. The 2 Russian diplomats that were expelled from Romania recently were helping this criminal group, according to the Romanian intelligence service. Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk: Europe must win this race. I am convinced that Russia will lose this race, just as the Soviet Union lost a similar race 40 years ago. This is the only way to avoid a larger-scale conflict. Russian airborne troops are returning home.
Март 25-го. Парни, ВДВшники возвращаются домой. Это жесть.
Reacting to Macron's statement yesterday, Apti Alaudinov claimed that Europe will either be forced to beg for peace on any terms or face the collapse of NATO. He argued that even the combined forces of the US, Germany, and France cannot match Ukraine's army, which continues to fiercely resist the Russians. In his view, if Russia can handle Ukraine, then even 50,000 froggies would pose no real challenge. There is a grain of rationality in this. Europe must do everything in its power to fully arm Ukraine with all available weaponry.
Even last year I said that I was sure this war would end by the end of 2024. Well, I have a few recordings where I say either this war will end or it will move to another stage, more serious, with the use probably of all types of weapons. Right now we are in such a period of time that the NATO bloc will collapse and we will already be finishing off Europe. Either they will stop and cease to enjoy themselves and will agree to any terms just to make peace with us. In both cases, as a state, we have chances to defeat a united Europe. Well, why? Well, because it has already done everything it could. Okay, and this Europe doesn't have enough weapons to fight us. And well, even if they gather their frogs, well, 20 to 30,000 people, let them gather 50,000. How will they be better than those Ukrainians we fought against? After all, if you look at the troops we have been fighting for 3 years, the Ukrainians are much stronger in spirit than any of these armies. American, French, German, all combined.
Rubio appeared with a cross on his forehead. Next time, tinfoil.
It's been very clear from the beginning that President Trump views this as a protracted, stalemated conflict, and frankly, it's a proxy war between nuclear powers, the United States helping Ukraine and Russia. And it needs to come to an end. And no one has any idea or any plan to bring it to an end. The plan of the Ukrainians up to now and their allies on Capitol Hill and the people you talk to in other countries is, let's just keep giving them as much as they need for as long as it takes. That's not a strategy.
Belarus dictator Lukashenko. I'm waiting for Trump, Zelensky, and Putin in Belarus for negotiations. We need to make a deal. Come if you want. It's just 200 kilometers from Kiev.
We need to make agreements. If you want, come over. It's nearby, the 200 kilometers from the border to Kiev, from the Belarusian border, well, 500 kilometers. Half an hour by plane, come over. We'll sit here calmly, without noise, without shouting, and make an agreement. Therefore, tell Trump, I am waiting for him here, along with Putin and Zelensky. We'll sit down and calmly come to an agreement, if you want to reach an agreement.
During the night, Russia hit a hotel in Kryvyi Rih with a ballistic missile, where volunteers from humanitarian organizations, citizens of Ukraine, the USA, and the UK had checked in the day before. Russian Telegram channels claim that the Russian armed forces have destroyed foreign mercenaries in a hotel in Kryvyi Rih, called Napoleon and Hitler Macron's predecessors. Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov seems to be having some kind of spring flare-up after the French president's speech yesterday.
Of course, this is a threat to Russia. If it considers us a threat, gathers a meeting of the chiefs of general staffs of European countries and Britain, saying that it is necessary to use nuclear weapons, preparing to use nuclear weapons against Russia. This is, of course, a threat, unlike their predecessors who also wanted to fight against Russia, Napoleon, Hitler, and Mr. Macron is not acting very gracefully, because they directly said that Russia must be conquered, Russia must be defeated. And he apparently wants the same, but for some reason says that one must fight with Russia so that it does not defeat France, that Russia creates threats to France and Europe. You know, Mr. Macron, periodically asserts so proudly that he will call Putin, that he will definitely talk to him. He has such opportunities. No one, as they say, forbids him. On the contrary, the president constantly emphasizes his openness to contact with all his colleagues.
Footage has now been released, which appears to show yesterday's accidental bombing in South Korea, in which an Rokaf KF-16 multi-role fighter dropped 8 Mk-82 500-pound bombs on the town of Dongmyeon in the Gyeonggi province during a live-fire exercise with the U.S. Air Force.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.